Next, I'd like to invite the mayoral candidate from the city of San Francisco, Elien Zhou, to come up to the podium. She's going to be hosting the next panel discussion. I'll let her announce the name of the guests and the topic of the panel discussion.
Thank you, Boston. And you are welcome. We came all the way from San Francisco. We are the most liberal and craziest city in the world. When we blow the wind, you will hear it, you will see it, you will smell it. And San Francisco is a very unique city. We comprise of almost 50% people are very actively engaged in working class, but 35% population are Asian people. And within the Asian people population, Chinese are the largest. And in San Francisco, I'm not sure if you know, we had approximately 900,000 residents. Of 35% of Asian comprise 35% of property owners. So you know that we have money. In fact, Chinese New Year was in January. We celebrate until December. Every year, every month, we have celebration. Every weekend, because we have so many family associations. Many people came and asked me, why in the hell that you would whisk your face and go outside and run for mayor? I want to let you know I was kicked out to run for mayor. So in 2016, California, we passed a law, it's called Proposition 64. It's called recreational cannabis. And throughout 2017, we have a lot of legislation, and lawmakers decide to do what kind of laws that we want in San Francisco. And we were discriminated because we did not speak the right language. We were laughed at. I was at more than 20 public hearings. Excuse me, I used my vacation hours. See, I'm a public employee. I'm a government employee. I cannot just go to a government city hall and fight with the mayor and the mayor's staff and the board of supervisors because I am myself a government employee. But the law says, if you want vacation, yeah, you could. It's called the First Amendment constitutional rights. So I did that. So every time when I go to City Hall, when the security guard checked me in, I said, yeah, I'm on vacation. So they will not give me a hard time. And they did. In fact, they called human resources to make sure that I was on vacation time. And people ask me, what's the qualification to run for mayor? You know what I find out? That's almost nothing. To be qualified for a mayor candidate, you have to be 18 years old. I said, I am 18 years old. And you have to be a US citizen and have no criminal records. I said, oh, I'm qualified. And they said you have to be a resident of San Francisco, and in fact, you have to have approximately 40 people nominate you, that you could be one of them. I said, oh, that sounds cool to me. And then they said the last thing you need is $6,500. I said, oh, that's a lot of money. No wonder we, the poor people campaign, it takes a lot of poor people to stand up. But you know what? We did that. So here's what happened. I've never thought about running for public office. I am not a politician. No matter what I do, or even I won't be a mayor of San Francisco, Assembly of California, or Congresswoman for the United States, I cannot be a politician. I can only be a people's voice. I can only be a social worker. You know what? I cannot do a lot of things that Democratic people do. That people vote. People move for many years, they vote. People bought the votes. I cannot do that. You know why? I brought up in church. I don't have to do things for myself. I stood up because the law calls me, that's enough. Go out and do something. Because Jesus said, with men, it's impossible. But with God, everything is possible. I put that in my logo. I put that in my campaign. And you know what? I have a lot of brothers and sisters stood up from church. And I don't even know a lot of people. But my campaign was very successful. We start with nothing. You You got to understand I've never been a politician. I run for mayor because our mayor died on office with a heart attack. And that mayor happened to be a Lee family. I go, yeah, I'm from the Lee family. Let's do something about the Lee family. So anyway, I pick up the Lee baton and run for mayor out of a joke. I was a joker. So every time when we go out, you understand that we have 26 people apply for mayor candidates. There's only 8 people qualified. So I was one of the 8 people qualified for mayor candidates. So when we go on stage, they give you 30 seconds. They give you 1 minute. And then you have to tell what are you going to do with San Francisco. I just summarized and said, look, the people right here, the 7 people, if they're so good, I will not be here. Because you're looking at the future right mayor for you. And I tell them, I know the statistics because I work for public health. San Francisco, we have 5 major problems, and that is across the United States. Homeless. Homeless die, homeless suffer. Because nobody should die on the street. Nobody should be suffer on the street, especially the veterans. I feel very, very sad that I pass by every morning and see veterans. They have to sleep on the street. They fought for our government. I went to the mayor's office. I went to the council's office. I spoke to them. So what's wrong with you people? There's nothing. There's no problem until you guys are in the office. So don't tell me that you're going to do something to change. You are already in the office that you're not changing. So guys, I am very thankful to you, CAA, that you organized this. I am not here just for the event. I'm here to let you know that every vote counts. Every bit it counts. So this is what I learned. Over the course of, I only run for mayor for five months. If you understand, I never thought about that I would be running for mayor. But because somebody died, and I was kicked out in there, and you got a lot of elderly who does not speak the language. All they need to know how to hold up the sign. And I would go outside and in front and say what I need to say. So we are the campaign based around the movement in San Francisco and across California. And I spoke many issues that is related to people. We have enough social problems. And if we, the Asian Americans, that you are so good, I believe many of you, or all of you in here today, because you believe in change. Am I right? Don't worry about whether your English is good or bad or no good. Who cares? You only need a heart. You need a heart to care for people. You need a heart to care for those children that we allow the system that mistrain, mislead, miseducated our kids. I was very impressed with this 24-year-old councilman. So I see him like my son. My son is 21 in college, a very good college. And my daughter's 19, and she was a student body for 55,000 students. So I'm a very proud mom. I hardly say about it, I'm a proud mom, because I say that we're not supposed to be like that, right? We have to be humble. So my experience has taught me whether that you are running office in the front, or whether you're doing internet helping, or whether you don't speak any language, all you need to do is show up. It doesn't really matter if you give me $1, $5, $10, $100. Every dollar counts to do the flyers, to let people know that there's ways that we can change. I'm not sure if you know, California, we have 40 million in population. We have 13% of the United States. We are the largest population in California. And because we do not like what we see now, with all the homeless dying on the street, a lot of drug dealers that is supported by the government. You understand that our drugs are supported by the government? They give them free drugs. They give them free needles. And the people who are dying on the street, 60% people suffer from drug abuse. And 60% people include drug abuse, mental health. If you have a heart, and that's what you need for running for office, I explained it to you, you just have to be qualified, 18 years old, and you have a good heart, and that's all you need, and that's all I learned. Like I said, I am not a politician, I'm a mom, I'm a social worker, and I care about each one of the people who live in this planet. Because God says, everyone is important to God's image. So I am a Christian, I am a Sunday school teacher. I do have a lot of influence in the community. I had a weekly radio outreach in Cantonese, and occasionally I spoke in Mandarin, and people could hardly understand. I think they picked it up. So, I'm not sure if anyone in here planned to run for office. It's okay to be failed. Running for office is not to be winning. Running for office is the process that you produce a lot of advocacy, that you stand up for the voiceless, powerless, and enough is enough. I learned that from Democratic. Let me explain it to you. I have a lot of, I understand that you may not understand the San Francisco politician culture, but all of the people who work in City Hall, I kind of having a relationship with them. So here's what I learned from politics. When you're fighting a City Hall public hearing, then you fight like hell. Fight! But when you go outside the door, you go, hey, you did good today, huh? So that's what American democracy is. You do not have to be an enemy to fight with the other party. It's okay to be democratic. It's okay to be a nonpartisan. It's okay to be Republican. But it's not okay to use public office power to abuse public resources. And it's not okay for any one of us who know them that they abuse the power, but you do not say a thing. The worst part of humanity is that you know something is not right, but you wouldn't say a thing about it. That is what makes America great. I am only one of those people crazy enough to stand outside of San Francisco City Hall and say, yay, I love Trump. And people think that I was crazy. But you know what? It's okay to be crazy. You have to be crazy to run for office. Am I right? Those who run for office? Because you don't make money as a politician. The people who abuse their office, they won't make the money. That's why, Donald Trump lost a lot of money when he became in office. But the people who are getting so rich because they are crooks. And I learned that from the 5 months that I ran for office. So next year, our team will probably represent the Republican Party in San Francisco, whether we will be winning or not. Like I said, it's a process to stand up for people. And I appreciate again that, and you are welcome again, and thank you for the opportunity that we are in here sharing part of it. I learned so much today about the people on this side of the country, because we are from California,